Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Tech Motoring. On today's episode we got a really cool video for you. We are getting our Tesla Powerwalls installed at our house. So we are going to be getting 2 Tesla Powerwalls installed. Let's take a look at how the process goes, how the installation goes, how it looks, and we'll see how well it functions for our first few days. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's take a look. Alright, so standing just outside of our garage here. Our garage is right here. Up on our roof here we have 16 Solaria 370 watt solar panels. So we produce a pretty decent amount of electricity here in South Carolina. This is our original solar setup here. So basically we have all the panels coming down through this conduit here, going into this. Here, let me go ahead and open this up for you. This is a Enphase Envoy IQ system sitting in here. We can see it's the Enphase IQ Combiner 3 box here. So all the solar panels come down into this, which then this communicates with my Wi-Fi network so I can see all the statistics of each panel and what they're doing on my phone. And then that goes into this kill switch right here, which then this feeds into my panel box inside the garage. And all in all, we've had this now for just about 3 whole years, and we're in the process of getting the upgrade with the Tesla Powerwalls, which is going to be really, really cool. So just to kind of give you an idea of what it's looking like, we're going to be getting the Powerwalls right here, stacked one on top of the other against the house right there. I assume the gateway is going to be coming up right somewhere around here on the house, which is fine. And then they're going to have to somehow reroute these panels, I believe, through the Tesla gateway, then to the Powerwalls, and then back out. I'm not 100% sure how that all goes, which is why I'm not installing it. We get professionals to do that. But yeah, tomorrow is the day that this all gets done, and we're going to have some awesome Tesla Powerwalls sitting right here on the house. So really looking forward to it. All right, and with that being said, it is going to be tomorrow very soon, and we're going to go ahead and see exactly how this whole Powerwall thing works out. So let's go to tomorrow. All right, good morning everybody. Well, today is the day that we are getting the Tesla Powerwalls installed. Just moving some cars around to make some room, but I wanted to tell you about the story, well, just a quick story, of how today became the day that this was supposed to happen. So I had gotten a call last week, and they basically said to me, hey, we want to be out there Monday to get the battery installed. I said, perfect, Monday's perfect, just come out here and get it done. It's been 3 months here, I've been waiting for this. So they say, okay, we'll be out there Monday. Awesome. Call me back a couple hours later and they're like, hey, can't do Monday. Turns out Monday is a holiday for the county, and therefore we can't do Monday. And so they're like, oh, sorry, we can't do it Monday because we'll have nobody to be able to inspect it. I think they need to send an inspector out from the county to look at it. So that was the reason why they couldn't do Monday. So they said, how about Tuesday? Tuesday's fine. Just get it done. Let's get the battery installed. So Monday comes and I get a phone call and I say, hey, we can't do Tuesday. Why not? The electricity company's having some sort of all-hands-on-deck meeting, and they are not capable of getting somebody out there to pull your meter off your house in the morning before we start work. Okay, they don't have anybody available. All right, that's fine. Let's do Wednesday. So now today's Wednesday, and now we're getting the meter installed. And so the other problem we were having this week was that it was basically rain in the forecast every single day. And actually it did rain yesterday being Tuesday. So even if they did plan on doing it on Tuesday, they probably wouldn't have been able to do it because it rained for probably 4 or 5 hours during the morning. So yeah, so it was probably better off that that did not happen yesterday. And today we have a chance of rain, but not until late afternoon, like after 4 or 5, maybe even 6 o'clock. Right now, everything is soaking wet because of rain from last night, but the sun is coming out, which is beautiful. So we're gonna have some sun today. Hopefully it won't be too hot for the guys out here. It is, it is the end of June, so it is getting some heat out here. But hopefully they'll be here shortly. Right now it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully they'll be here roughly between 8 and 8:30. They can start unloading all their stuff. We gotta wait for the electricity company to come out here and disconnect the meter from the house, because I guess that's how they have to do it. They have to disconnect the meter, install everything, which means I won't have electricity to the house for the whole day. They have to install the Powerwall, get everything done, then they have to send an inspector out from the county to look at it to make sure it's all good, and as long as that all passes and it's good, then Sandy Cooper comes back out and puts the meter back on. It sounds like a logistical nightmare, in my opinion. I mean, that just means everything has to go perfectly, or I don't have power tonight. so a lot of gears turning here, lots of people involved, lots of companies involved, but hopefully we will see some awesome stuff by the end of the day today. And the other thing too is, since I wasn't home yesterday, somebody from the county stopped by and tried ringing the doorbell and getting a hold of me, but I wasn't home, and unfortunately I couldn't really respond to my Ring doorbell to say anything to them. I was in the middle of a meeting at work, and so yeah, just I hope that wasn't important, and I hope they didn't need me for anything, and maybe they were just expecting the work to be done yesterday and they didn't see anybody out here, so they're probably just wondering what was going on. But anyway, either way, today's Wednesday. Today's the day it's all getting done. I'm stoked about this. I'm really looking forward to having this Tesla Powerwall system set up. And yeah, and also, as of June, I think it was 15th or 16th, to October 31st, I think it was, somewhere towards the end of October, if you install Powerwalls, they'll give you $500 off per Powerwall, which is pretty cool. So, and this is from Tesla. So if you install and register a Powerwall through the Tesla app between middle of June and the end of October, you will actually get $500 back from Tesla per Powerwall. So $500 back per Powerwall. So I'll be getting $1,000 back from Tesla directly for putting in 2 Powerwalls. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to waiting and see if these Powerwalls get installed today. And I'll keep you up to date as we go. Alright, looks like the electrical company truck has showed up, so they're probably here to pull the meter shortly. I'll go out and check on them and see if they need anything from me. Alright, meter has been pulled. I've lost power to the house. Now we just wait for the crew to get here so they can install the batteries once again. 2 Tesla Powerwalls going right here. The gateway, I assume, is going up here somewhere. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll be on battery by the end of the day. Well, you're not going to believe this. So it's after 9 o'clock. The meter has been pulled for over an hour at this point, and they haven't showed up to do the battery yet. And look what just started happening outside. And now we got rain. The weather was looking clear for today, but it started getting dark, and now the rain has started up. So hopefully this is just a passing shower. Hopefully they could show up. I got the whole garage open for them. The entire garage is open for them. So if they need to back the truck into the garage and they could do some work in the garage, that'll be a start for them. But yeah, considering that this is now happening is not looking good. So we just wait and see at this point. All right, well, they just got here. It's about 9:45. So they just got here. They're, looking to get everything set up. The rain has subsided for now, as you can kind of see out the window. Sun looks like it's possibly coming out, hopefully. And we'll see, crossing our fingers that it stays that way. So I'm going to give them some space, let them do their thing. I just had a quick discussion with them about where we're putting the Powerwalls, the expectation. He kind of explained to me how it's going to be from the solar panels down to the current gateway, the current combiner box, the Enphase Envoy box, and then it goes into the gateway. So yeah, kind of weird, a little different than what I was expecting, but that's how they're going to be setting that up now. So we're going to go ahead and check in on them in a couple hours, see how things are going, make sure everything's good, and then hopefully they'll be done soon, and hopefully it doesn't rain. Oh, don't want it to rain today. All right, well, they are just finishing up outside. It's, what is it, about almost 3 o'clock. The county inspector is here taking a look at it, making sure everything looks good. Once that is all done, then I guess they put the meter back in, or have to get somebody out to put the meter back in, and then they flip the switch and everything should be up and going. So yeah, pretty exciting. We're gonna see a little bit of action today while the sun is still out. Today is actually, I think, the longest day of the year. So unfortunately we missed out on a little bit of the sunshine today, producing with the solar, but that's okay. It was for a good purpose. So yeah, really looking forward to this. This should be done shortly, and then we'll take a look at the finished product, and we'll also take a look at the Tesla app and see how that looks as well. Electricity company decided to bring the entire crew out here just to connect the meter back up. Seems overkill, but yeah, I guess that's all right. All right, final reveal here. This is the new setup here in the backyard or side of the house here. So we can see, obviously, we have the 2 Tesla Powerwalls here connected. Solar panels are coming down, still going into the Enphase IQ combiner box, and then that's going from there into the Tesla gateway here. And so we can see that we have the batteries in here under these breakers and the solar under these breakers as well. So this is all going through here, a main disconnect for this system, and of course the batteries are feeding into that as well. So looks like a pretty good job they did. They pretty much had to rip out the entire breaker box in the garage, and I mean pretty much redid everything. I mean, it was crazy how much work they had to do. And they replaced this rapid shutdown switch as well. That was another thing that they had to do. But yeah, so we got the meter back in, so that's all done as well. And yeah, so now we just have to get the batteries commissioned, which they said they might not happen today. I think it's going to be tomorrow that they have to come out and finish up the commissioning of those batteries. But we'll see. All right, well, there we go. Tesla Powerwalls installed. Everything is good to go. Tomorrow we'll get them commissioned, so everything will be set up, ready to go. We'll have it ready on the Tesla app. We'll be able to see the power being produced, sent to the batteries. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be pretty cool to see that working. So let's wait till tomorrow and we'll see what happens. Hello, everybody. So welcome to hopefully the final day of this Powerwall installation and setup. So just to kind of give a little bit of backstory and to fill in some of the gaps that I've noticed I haven't really been filling in very well during this video. So first things first is I did not purchase this Powerwall through Tesla directly. I did not go through Tesla's website, log in, and then order the Powerwalls and then have them sent to my house or whatever that procedure usually looks like. There was actually a local company in the area that actually does Tesla Powerwall installs. So I managed to go through that company to get this installed. Now, update you on the current situation. So as you all know, on this past Wednesday, we got the Powerwall physically installed by the electrician. So they came out, fantastic group of guys, 3 guys, set up the Powerwalls, got them all done, and everything was good to go. They were going to commission the Powerwalls, except we had to wait for the meter to come back in. You saw that where they had the bucket trucks out on the street just to come plug my meter back into my house. Unfortunately, the electricians had already left by then, and they had a 4-hour drive back to wherever they had come from to do this installation. So I kind of don't blame them. But the company that I purchased this through is supposed to be doing the commissioning. Well, some weird things happened where they were supposed to come out the following day, and my salesman, who was did a fantastic job this entire time, just quit that morning. And he had texted me that morning and said, hey, I could get over there right now. And I said, I can't get out of work right now. I said, we'll just keep the appointment for 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then he texted me somewhere later that afternoon around like 3 o'clock, a little after 3 o'clock. He said, I can't make it there. And then he was just like, I gave my resignation, I'm done. So I was like, oh, it's one of them situations. So that all happened. That was kind of a mess, and that was Thursday. Then they said, well, Friday, we're going to get a hold of you, and we'll get somebody out there. And I was assuming they were going to try to get out there Friday.
They didn't. They called me Friday to confirm that they will be out here Monday. Well, I took it upon myself to try to commission the Powerwall myself. And I've never done this before. I had no idea what was entailed. I just kind of jumped into it. And so I had made that phone call to Tesla that night. They told me that there was some weird issue with the gateways not communicating properly, and that was why it wasn't working. And I didn't think that was really part of the reason. It turns out it wasn't. It had nothing to do with that. The issue I was having was strictly trying to get my phone to connect to the gateway so I could get the gateway to connect to my Wi-Fi network. So it never even got out to the internet. Anyway, long story short, I gave up on that. I called Tesla again the following day over the weekend and said, hey, listen, like, could you help me walk through this process? And the guy was like, yeah, sure. He's like, well, let's just go ahead and see what we can do. And we ended up going through the process of setting up the Powerwall through a web browser. So logging in through an IP address, getting into the Powerwall, using credentialing to get in there. It turns out Powerwalls have cellular connectivity as well, which was news to me. I didn't realize that. So that's why that was actually able to communicate back. So that was interesting. So anyway, so we got that far and we were able to get everything set up. It was registered on my account. It was in my app. I could see it. I was able to connect it to the Wi-Fi. Everything was looking good. I was setting up all the settings for the Powerwalls, and the guy at Tesla was able to see me making those changes. So obviously there was communication back and forth between them, but there was nothing happening between the grid and the solar and the Powerwalls or anything. Like the Powerwalls were just not working. And then I came across this this button inside of the web browser that says, you know, basically power on your Powerwalls. And I did that, and it gave me some weird generic error that I couldn't really translate. So with some Googling going on there, I found out that that is because the batteries have to be commissioned by the installer. And so you need the installer login to log into the batteries to do the actual commissioning, which I heard is like 3 or 4 questions, and then you can turn on the Powerwall. So after all of that, probably about 3 or 4 hours I spent on this over the weekend, it turns out I can't even do it anyway. So the majority of the work is done, so they're on their way right now. They're supposed to be here at 10 o'clock. They tried to reschedule me for 12. I said no. And so they're on their way right now so we could just finish this up. And really, we're looking at just the last step of just going through that supposed 3 or 4 questions, according to some people on forums, that's all you got to do. Once we see that, once we do that, we're done. We're good. The Powerwalls should be able to power on, they should run, and they should function as I already set them up in the Tesla app. So hopefully that'll be done soon. And if it is, whew, finally. Anyway, let's get over to the Powerwalls. Let's see how they look. And I'll update you on the situation when we get there.
All right, it's all done. The battery is working. We are getting electricity from our solar going into our gateway and back to the batteries, charging it up. Batteries are only currently at about, I think they were like 17%. I think they're about 19% right now. So they're finally working, and yeah, it's great. So I'm actually gonna bring you back inside because it is hot out here. It is the summertime, so let's go ahead and take a look at this inside.
All right, everybody, well, there you go. So after over 3 months of waiting for the Powerwall, actually this has been over 6 months of working to try to get a battery for the house, but over 3 months of waiting for the Powerwalls to come in, they are finally done. And so the gentleman came out from the company. He had to call up Tesla. Tesla had to go ahead and get it all activated on the back end after they answered a few questions. And it was questions like, is the battery wall mounted or floor mounted? Is it on a pad on the floor? Is it wired through the side or the back of the battery? And so like there's just a bunch of these little just generic questions to, you know, basically commission completely. And so there we go. It's done finally. And actually, let's take a look at the app real quick. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick so you can get an idea of exactly what it looks like. So I'm going to throw this on the floor. All right, so as you can see, it shows my home. It shows that we are currently producing 3.6 kilowatts on our solar. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning yet. Our house is taking 2.2 kilowatts right now. So I got my car plugged in right now at a low amperage. It shows we're pulling 0 kilowatts from the grid. and we have 1.4 kilowatts going to the battery, 1.3 now. All right, everybody, well, there you go. So there it is, the Tesla Powerwall installation. A lot of work, but yeah, it was well worth it, I believe. I mean, this is really going to offset our cost of electricity for the house, but not only that, because we live in a hurricane environment, this is going to be huge for us if we ever have a large storm or just a power outage in general. In this area, we are prone to having some random power outages on occasion, though us particularly in this house, we're usually pretty good about not getting power outages, but it does happen on occasion, and we are ready for them if it were to occur. So this is really awesome. I'm looking forward to this, and I'll probably have some more videos about Tesla Powerwall in the near future and see how it goes. And I might even try to experiment with going off the grid for a little bit amount of time. So I'm going to really test it out and see how it is, kind of simulate what would happen if we were to have a bad storm and if we can survive off of just having, you know, a battery and solar, and see if that really works. Anyway, thanks again for watching this episode, and I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up below. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check us out on all our social medias and website down in the description below. And of course, I'd like to thank you very much again for watching today's episode. And remember, welcome to the future and welcome to Tech Motoring. And we'll see you on the next episode.